about this. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
I know around every August, beginning of semester, just because I was just starting my master's program when the hurricane came and the levees broke.
Absolutely.
You know, just beginning a new year, that's always in my heart and in my mind. My family's from Baton Rouge. No one was affected. We're far away. But just seeing the images coming into sociology right as we're seeing this sociological event with bodies and people and voices like mine.
Yeah.
What were you going through 10 years ago? Did it at all impact you scholarly, or does it impact the way you teach or anything?
You know, when I think about, when I remember that time, look, I was an untenured faculty member at the college that I'm working at right now. Since then, I've gotten tenure and I'm doing pretty well for myself. But I remember that those times, and I remember in my introduction to sociology class, I brought in as a discussion item the pictures that were being circulated about how black people were being depicted in the media versus white people were being depicted in the media, and I'm not even kidding. So I'm bringing this into my intro class, and when I started, I was like, look, this might be a topic better suited for a social problems class, or a race and ethnicity class, but let's talk about this here because it was something that was weighing heavily on my heart. And so, you know, so we're getting into it. Half hour later, you know, I'm like, we're all in, and the lights come back on because it was they were pictures and whatnot. The lights come back on, and in the back of the class, I saw the person that was supposed to be evaluating me. I completely forgot that I was being evaluated that day. No joke. And I was like, oh snap. I went so far off the grid, it's not even funny. But I remember that it was so important to me that I honestly, not only did I don't know if I forgot on purpose, but I surely didn't care. And if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would do the exact same thing again, because how important it was to me to be able to try to communicate this to Santa Leo students, which is a more privileged part of our district and whatnot. And so, yeah, that was what I was going through, you know, when this was all going down. And, you know, and I enjoy being 10 years separated from this, and yet at the same time reflecting back on it and wondering how much has really actually changed.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. Again, the word anniversary is kind of odd, right? An odd pairing. Yeah. But certainly if you know folks from New Orleans, right, there's a party in this somewhere, right? One thing I think about is some of the people I have met since and before from New Orleans, right? One by the name of Vanessa who ended up out here because of events related to the levees breaking in the storm. But one of the biggest things I think about is sort of the connection of how between gentrification, between this sort of selling and celebrating of New Orleans post Super Bowl win, post block punt, and this idea that New Orleans has such an intricate role in the United States of America, and it is a very intricate black role in the United States of America that allows us to talk about New Orleans and jazz and Cajun food and Creole culture without actually talking about black people. So when that event in New Orleans happens, regardless of where you are, your relationship to the city of New Orleans, to the people of New Orleans, it's great to see how people are rallying, right, and remembering, because, and this is not to sort of put my thoughts on someone else's pain or experiences, but to say like this was a nationwide event, and certain people get it. Yeah,
no. Look, the part that I remember the most is that Hurricane Katrina sponsored created one of the best lines in poetry I've heard in a long time, and that was, "I'm not upset that this is happening to people of my race. I'm upset that we can use the words New Orleans and refugee in the same sentence."